This is my Dyson PencilVac, and I'm going to share with you the top 5 reasons why you should pass on it. Because reason number 1 is that you look at this thing and you're saying, it's a PencilVac, it's super light, it must be easy to maneuver and push around. But then you realize this weighs about 4 pounds with the battery as well as the fluffy cone brush. So then you go, okay, how much does the Dyson V9 weigh? 4.6 pounds. So just 0.6 pounds heavier than the PencilVac. And then how much does the Dyson V8 weigh? This weighs 5.7 pounds. So just about 1.7 pounds heavier. And how much does the Dyson V12 Slim Detect weigh? 5.4 pounds. So that means it's only 1.4 pounds heavier. But they're all cheaper than the Dyson PencilVac, and that's the crazy part. This is going to be the lightest, least powerful Dyson you can buy, but it also looks like this. And once you use the Dyson PencilVac versus a Dyson V8 or any of the other Dysons, you know the real limitations. Because you can see that hair does get caught inside of the Dyson PencilVac fluffy cone because it doesn't have enough suction power, and the anti-tangle brushes are not going to be as powerful as what you get on a standard Motorbar. And then when you look at the tank container size, and our Dyson PencilVac's bin is completely full way before our Dyson V8 will ever get full. And even if I was to empty out the Dyson PencilVac, I could pick up everything just inside my Dyson V8. And the Dyson V8 with the soft brush outperforms the Dyson PencilVac with its fluffy cone in every single way. I have not found a situation other than being lighter that the Dyson PencilVac beats the V8. So we're going to do a carpet test here between the PencilVac and the Dyson V8. The V8 is using the standard brush roll. The PencilVac is using the new Fluffy Vac. And let's go. And that's one of the things if you have it on high pill. If you put it on max, there's too much suction, and you push it, it might not spin. So you have to be sure you're spinning it. And it's already clogged. So we're going to put this restart. Eco. And this is just on Eco then. The PencilVac is easy to push around, but even on Eco, it will get jammed if I push inward. So I'm going to have to turn it off, restart it, but if I push down, you guys notice that it turns off. One more time. So remember the PencilVac, if you want to use it on carpet or rug, the biggest problem is turn it on, it's spinning, it's on Eco, it's the lowest speed, and if I just push it down, turns off. Because that's the suction. So again, push down, and it turns off. And what if I have it on medium? Turns off. Because of the suction power, regardless if you're using this on Eco, medium, or boost, if you press down, it's going to turn off. So the PencilVac is not ideal for any medium or high pill carpet, period. The Dyson V8 soft brush also does not get clogged on any types of rug or carpet. So this is just a low pill rug. This is on low. And no matter how hard I press down, it's not getting clogged. And the Dyson V8 works on carpets and rugs unlike the PencilVac. So that's already another big win for the V8 over the PencilVac. Checking the battery life on your EcoVac, it gets you about 20 minutes on Eco. On medium, it's going to give you about 15. And on boost, it gives you about 8. So at 100% battery, the Dyson V12 is going to show 60 minutes of runtime. On auto, it is going to show 34 minutes. Boost, 7 minutes. And this is going to be on the Dyson V8. The Dyson V8 does not come with any display here, but it does come with a filter that's going to be removable. and is coming with that 115 air watt motor on boost. If you're looking at the overall battery life on your V8, you're going to be averaging about 35 minutes of runtime. On Eco, you're going to be getting closer to about 20 minutes on medium, and you're going to be getting 10 minutes on boost here. And another glaring weakness on the Dyson PencilVac is going to be the battery life. You're going to say it looks so modern and this tube battery must be updated and it must be better than what we're already getting on the V8, the V9, as well as the V12. But it's not true. This comes with a 2,430 milliampere hour battery. And most of these guys are coming with just about 2,500 milliampere hours, so just about the same size. The weight of the battery is also not going to be any lighter or more efficient. The average charging time between fully charging this PencilVac and charging the V8 or the V9 or the V12 is just about the same at around 4.5 hours. So this doesn't even charge faster. And at boost speed, this is the standard battery, so you're more likely to degrade this battery faster. And because of the updated shape, this battery is also going to be more expensive to replace. Because when you get a PencilVac or you get any of the other Dyson cordless models, you're intending to keep them for more than a year, I hope. You're probably hoping to keep them for 5 years. And finding a replacement battery for the PencilVac is more expensive and more difficult than getting a replacement battery for something like a Dyson V8 or a V9, because these, you can just buy them on third-party manufacturer websites or on Amazon. You don't have to get a Dyson, but this one, you gotta get a Dyson. Another key point that a lot of people are not emphasizing enough is just how small this dustbin is. This is a 0.8 liter dustbin. To put that in perspective, the small dustbins that you see on your Dyson V9 and your V12 are going to be 0.3 liters. So they are almost 4 times larger than what you get here. And then when you compare it to the dustbin on a Dyson V8, this is a 0.56 or 0.57 liter. So that's like how many? 7 times larger than what you get on the PencilVac. And that's crazy to me because it is not that much lighter than any of them. Using it is not that much easier. And the Dyson PencilVac is really limited because it can only do one floor type, which is hard floors. You can't really use it even on low pill carpet on low mode, because if you press downward because you got additional debris, it's going to say, oh, well, it's jammed or it's suction clogged, and it's going to turn itself off. And a potential fail point that I do not see a lot of people talking about is right inside of the actual bin. And it's because you have this little flap here. And this flap goes up and down on its own. But sometimes when you clean your device, this flap can just get trapped in this upright position and your unit will always be clogged. So it is something that is a potential fail point, especially if this flap ever gets damaged. And you have to really make sure to not get your PencilVac wet, because inside the tube here, you notice that the water will go directly into the motor because of how the filtration system has been engineered. So make sure that whatever you're doing, do not pick up anything wet or liquidy inside of the PencilVac, or you're going to have to spend a lot of time cleaning it, or you might potentially break your machine. The next key step is, how do you clean this? Because if you look at our unit here, after just using it a little bit, it is actually quite dirty. So the PencilVac is meant to be very chic. That's why you got this kind of like broom handle size. But if it's not clean, it doesn't look very chic. So I'm going to empty this out and I'm going to show you how difficult it is to clean this so that it looks new again. So in order to clean your PencilVac easily, first thing you're going to need to do is get a long stick or a chopstick, a microfiber towel. I got an air canister gun or an air gun here so I can blow away all the water and dust out. And you're going to open this up and you need to remove this plastic. So how you do that is that, so after you open it on the top of your unit, you're going to want to pull in the tabs, these little red tabs, and because it releases the filter, you can remove the filter and pop it out and clean it yourself. Next step is that you have an additional screen here. So you're going to want to clean that. And then once you press this, this will release the plastic tube and you can wash this as well. And a similar story for our brush here. You want to be able to take off the cover, off the top cover. This is pretty flimsy. It feels like it's going to break. And I'm not sure why they went with this kind of thickness here, because you can very easily just snap this. Like, I don't want to snap mine, but Look how much flex, and this will be very easy to crack. But the plastic on the Motorbar is just higher quality and thicker. You can hear that it makes a different sound. It's much more rigid than the cheaper, thinner plastic that you see on the Dyson PencilVac. And you might be asking yourself, what do I do about this area here? You don't want to get this wet, so don't add any water into this area because the suction power will pull in all the water into the motor. Another key thing is that once you take out the filter, you want to make sure that the screen is fully clean because it's going to be dirty on the inside as much as it's on the outside. Cleaning the fluffy cone brush roll is relatively simple. On one end, you just have to twist off the brush roll, and on the other end, you just pull them out. So when you are looking them side by side and you'll see the entire mechanism, it doesn't look incredibly complicated. It's just cone-shaped brushes here, and the self-propulsion system is what's being powered so that it can pick up more debris on the floor. It's not so much that there's a Motorbar motor, it is that the brush rolls are going to be acting like on a wet-dry vacuum. And the charging station is nice and easy to use because of the magnets, but the problem is that they did not add any weight to the base plate. So when you pop this out and you do not have your foot on it, sometimes it will just pick everything up easily. So I wish they put a weight inside of the base. Otherwise, you can just move this around pretty easily because it's so light. So ultimately, what's my verdict on the Dyson PencilVac? Well, you're paying more money to get a smaller bin with a smaller battery, with less suction power, with a worse brush roll inside of a more innovative design. So as long as you're okay with the form factor and the ever so slightly lower weight than what you get on a V9, a V12, or a V8, then the PencilVac might be right for you. And the PencilVac is also really good for people with lots of money. Because if you have lots of money, you will say, wow, I don't need a Swiffer, I need a $570 Swiffer, because that's what this is. And then you're gonna say, do I need the fluffy comb? Why don't I just get the regular fluffy brush? Then I tell you, why don't you just get the regular fluffy brush that already comes on a Dyson V8 Absolute, because it's the same. It is even better on the Absolute than what you would get on the Fluffy Vac because this has more suction power. So in every single way, suction power, weight, efficiency, battery life, the competition inside of Dyson is better than the PencilVac. And that's why it's so hard for me to recommend it. So should you buy the Dyson PencilVac? In my opinion, no. I can't think of a use case that the Dyson PencilVac will be better than just getting a standard Dyson V8 with a stand. Because if you're like, oh, well, I need to have the stand, this stand right here is just a piece of plastic with the magnets in it. So it's not anything special. You can buy a third-party stand for your Dyson V8 for like 40, 50 bucks on Amazon, and you can stand it up easily, and it'll charge itself too. And being totally honest, there are so many good cordless stick vacuums out there, from Dyson, Shark, even the Bissell FurGuard. There's just a lot of competition in this space. And the durability as well as the reliability is the biggest question mark for me. So then it's really hard to recommend it for you, because even if I thought all the features were great, I'm not sure this is going to last you more than a year. I'm just not sure, because if you're constantly clogging the vents here, if this can't be used on all different types of floors, it also has a higher likelihood to break because some problem with the suction, as well as some problems with the technical components in here. So I'm going to monitor that for you guys, but if you had a question on it, I would say just skip it and look for something else. So with that, thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below, and please hit that like or subscribe button. It really does help support our channel. And I'm not a Dyson hater, guys. I'm just saying that I don't want people to waste their money on nothing. So with that, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you next time. This is Dave with the French Glow signing off. Bye, bye, bye.